It was ordained that I should be a wrestler. My family were wrestlers and had been for many generations. Many famous wrestlers in India can be traced directly to me from centuries past. The akhada or training place for the practice of Pahlwani, a particular branch of wrestling developed in Masjidbury Street, was opened by my great-grandfather. I am the son of Kolkata and reached adulthood after extensive training and was measuring 6 feet 1 inch and was weighing 290 pounds, a force to be reckoned with. Alongside this practice, I was also taught Hindustani classical music and attended many musical soirees. This duality helps me to be a balanced fighter. Mostly, Muslims were the giants of the wrestling world, but I sought to change that, and I have to say that I succeeded. I was 18 when my career began in a specially organised bout against the court wrestler of the Maharaja of Tripura. His name was Navrang Singh, and I beat him convincingly. I never expected to travel beyond the shores of India, but international promoters thought otherwise, and in 1910 I was invited to undertake a tour in Europe which lasted until 1915. This opened my eyes to the world, and for the first time non-Indians were introduced to Pahlwani. Pahlwani is a distinctly Rajasic activity filled with passion and activity. It perfectly suits my temperament, and yet in order to balance this practice, we have to follow a diet sattvic, calming and in good nature. So, you see, it's not just brute force, but countered by delicate balancing act, entrenched in a philosophical attitude like the wrestling and the music traditions I have been taught. This balance, I have always felt, gives me an advantage against non-Indian fighters and helped me to win the World Light Heavyweight Championship in the United States in 1921. I was the very first Indian wrestler to win this title, a great honour for me. I was not expecting to be roundly floored by my next opponent, and even more so by a boxing punch, which, when it was allowed and I argued with the judges, my opponent came behind me and hit me hard, forcing me to the floor, whereupon I hit my head and was concussed. I had always been a teacher, and now I did more of this, eventually opening an akhada of my own, which I managed until I retired in 1944. I am proud to be part of a tradition which continues to grow and develop.